Good morning. Good morning. You already know what time it is. Tony, Lavelle, 2 minute hash purchase. Pull up to the table, grab a seat, let's begin. Real conversations when the hats come in. Life lessons, relationships too. Different perspectives, but the talk stay true. Let's talk about it. Yeah, let's talk about it. Life, love, truth, and wisdom. Yeah, we talking about it. Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. Don't miss it on Facebook and YouTube. Pull up and come kick it. Tony got perspective. The veil bringing truth. And when Queen Watkins pull up, she spilling that tea for you. Queen Watkins segment. Like that TAT. You know when Queen step in the room, the conversation getting real soon. Real soon. Yeah. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Talk about it. 2 minute hash podcast. Yeah, we talking about it.
Top of the morning to you, my good people. Happy Friday, beautiful Friday. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, man. This your host with the most, Tony Mays, Bell Salter. What it do, my guy?
Hey, man. Good morning, man. Hey, man.
Man, shout out to Lavelle Salter this morning, man. That dude be doing his thug thistle. What y'all think about the new theme song, man?
We're going to play it again before we get out of here. I got it already queued up and ready.
What y'all think about the new theme song, man? That's y'all puppet.
Yes, sir.
What up, Craig? Good morning, Craig. Look, I got so hyped in the song, man. I ain't do my normal house cleaning this morning.
Okay, then.
I was keeping this. Oh, man. So we have a very special show today. We have Miss Shamica Baxter that's going to be on this morning, and we're going to play her intro in a minute. But before I do that, man, I do want to offer my condolences to the family of Bridget McCray Casey, man, a longtime friend of mine who passed yesterday. And so we definitely want to offer our condolences and prayers, man. I've been knowing the McCray family alone and the Casey family a long time, man. And so my sister has transitioned and gone on to be with the Lord. So just want to offer our prayers from the 2 Men and a Half podcast to her family, and those that loved her and knew her. All right. Also, y'all know we got the 3rd annual Zellyfane coming up. Craig said that intro fire. We got the 3rd annual Zellyfane, man, Whitehaven Easter egg hunt that's going to be at David Carnes Park right here on Whitehaven Lane. It is going to be April the 4th at 11 a.m. April the 4th at 11 a.m. So we did confirm that.
Yes,
April 4th at 11 a.m., man. So y'all come on out, man, and bring them cheerings.
Yep.
Cheerings on out, man. And come on out and celebrate with them cheers. I know y'all talking about this and that. You know, it ain't no Easter bunny, no such thing. I understand. But bring them cheerings on out. Don't y'all do them cheering like that. Y'all had the Easter egg hunt. Y'all was out there real live eggs.
Man,
them eggs that were half cooked, still raw in the middle. You peel them, bite them to them, and you get nothing but yellow yolk, mushy yolk. Yeah. Y'all was eating them kind of eggs. But shout out to Greg Price, GK Price Foundation, Greg and Kim Price, man, for allowing us to joint venture with them again. Them and Councilwoman Pearl, what's her last name? I can't think of the name right now.
It's Miss Pearl.
Yeah, Miss Pearl. Miss Pearl. Plenty of protein, Craig. So shout out again, man, to Greg Price for putting on the 3rd annual Zellyfane. Make sure y'all, if y'all want to donate those plastic eggs, when you're doing real eggs, y'all want to donate the plastic eggs with the food, the candy and stuff in them, or toys. You can drop them off to me or Lavelle, or if you just don't want to, buy something, you want to send the money to $2 Men in Hat 2024. $2 Men in Hats 2024. And we'll make sure we make it happen for you. All right. So we want to introduce our guest for this morning. And let me go ahead on and play her video that Lavelle so graciously put together.
Baxter is a Memphis, Tennessee-based media creative, panel moderator, life coach, and founder of In the Gem series, a transformational platform rooted in truth, healing, and accountability. Her work is guided by a signature lens she calls Through My Eyes, a framework that examines the heartbreak of generational disconnection while actively encouraging intergenerational collaboration, dialogue, and understanding. Shamica is the creator and executive producer of the Love, Lust, and Sacrifice series, which includes podcasts, curated panels, and community-centered conversations exploring how love, lust, sacrifice, and unresolved trauma shape relationships, identity, and cultural outcomes. Her work bridges generational gaps by bringing together elders, emerging leaders, professionals, and youth to foster shared learning and mutual respect. She holds undergraduate degrees in communications and psychology and has completed executive MBA level leadership training, equipping her with both strategic and behavioral insight. She is mental health first aid certified and brings over 10 years of experience working with disadvantaged populations, including veterans, disabled individuals, troubled youth, and underserved families. In addition to her media and panel work, Shamica serves as a mentor with We Care Inc. and is the founder of Pink Gem Society, a women-centered initiative focused on growth, self-worth, accountability, and generational healing. Through storytelling, education, and lived experience, Shamica Baxter creates spaces where generations connect, conversations heal, and communities evolve. Let's welcome Shamica to the Two Men in Hats podcast.
All right, man. Let's bring our guest, man, to the stage. Welcome to the stage. Unmute yourself.
I'm happy to be here. That was beautiful.
We go all the way. We go all the way out over here in the Two Men in Hats podcast.
I was like, they done created a promo. Come on, promo.
She's like, when y'all get due, send me.
Y'all from the Haven, ain't you? You from the Haven?
Yeah, send me.
I'm from the Haven.
Send me.
I'm from Westwood, baby. Come on, play no game.
We won't hold that against you, Haven.
Yeah, Haven.
Man, it's one big old neighborhood. I'm not care about that no more. I'm 50 years old.
Well, welcome. Look, I said, I'm sitting there listening to it when he created. I said, man, this woman is a busy bee.
Yeah,
she is getting it in. So welcome to the Two Men in Hats podcast. First of all, let me give a little housekeeping to our listeners. If you guys want to come on to the show to be a guest, you can scan the QR code. You know, if you scan the QR code, you can't scan it from the phone that you own. Now you got to scan it if you're on your laptop or your iPad. You can also call in if you have questions for Miss Baxter, because she has an extensive background. If you have questions for her, you can dial in at 901-438-3520 to ask your question. And remember, it don't take all day to say everything now, or anything, because I will hit that end button on you. Or you can hit the link that's in the comments, and you can come on that way. All right. And then even if you come on, don't take all day to say it now. We will remove you from the stage. Isn't that right, Lavelle?
That is correct.
Now we're gonna say, ain't that right, Lavelle?
Ain't that right?
Yeah.
Hey, Miss Baxter, you was the first guest to ever hear our new intro for our 2 Men in Hats podcast. What did you think about it?
Impactful, powerful, everything.
Oh,
y'all putting in their work. Y'all putting in there. That's what I like. You put in. This is an actual production.
Oh yeah.
This is a production.
We have tried over these last couple of years to keep improving, what we're doing. Because I mean, we started off just going Facebook Live, and then I'm adding, but we had to figure this thing out along the way, and we're figuring it out as we go, man. So shout out to you, shout out to Lavelle. Again, thank you for coming on and being our special guest this morning. So I know we had that little intro, but sometimes, we want to hear a little personal stuff about you. Not too personal, but if you want to give like a personal introduction of yourself, that's fine as well.
Okay. So you guys did an amazing job. You basically highlighted pretty much everything I do and everything that I am. So I can say I'm from, as you guys know, I'm from the Haven, through and through the real Haven. I went to Haven View Middle School, Oakshire Elementary, as well as
Oh yeah,
Whitehaven Elementary, and then I went to the Whitehaven High School. So the
under the
high school. I
hunter.
graduated from the high school. So I'm having through, don't be looking at me like that, Westwood, but I'm having, I'm having through and through. And, I had my fair share of challenges growing up. I graduated, with like a 2.3 GPA. GPA wasn't the highest, but, went away to school and went to the Tennessee State University where I got my undergraduate degrees in TV, radio, and I double majored in psychology. Went back for my master's, grew into a better person, came back and said, I'm going to help improve my community. So that's pretty much the gist of it. Like I want people to understand that just because you are here doesn't mean you can't get there. We're consistently evolving, growing, and I feel like it's my duty to help my community to become better people one story at a time.
She
That's
sounds like
all,
she's committed to us, Doc.
man. That's awesome because our podcast is all about helping people become better versions of themselves, and so and we do that through just pure conversations. We have a variety of topics where we just kind of talk to people, and we love to hear people's stories and their testimonies because we feel like that, even though you're going through or have went through whatever you went through, there are other people that may be going through the same thing that you can actually help. And I like the idea of you giving back to the community, Lavelle, and I believe in giving back to our community. That's why we participate in the Zelly Fang. That's why we do our unhoused homeless tent drive we do every year. So it's because we want to give back. And so we thank you and we honor you today for being that person to give back to the community as well. So thank you. Shout out. So let me just kind of jump on in here. We've had, and I want to tap into that psychology major a little bit.
Right.
I want to tap into that. So starting in January, we had a series of kind of mental health type of topics where we dealt with like trauma and family trauma, and we talked about our children and some of the trauma and things they face. We even had what's his name, Lavelle, a doctor,
About the name of the write the book.
the doctor we just had on there, doctor, what you call Caswell,
Charlie Caswell, yeah.
Charlie Caswell,
Yeah,
who actually gave his testimony about childhood trauma and the things that he was experiencing. So what do you think is the real problem, or why we as Black people don't really like to go and get counseling or tap into those mental health resources?
Because we don't understand. So live trauma. We've internalized trauma. If you are going through something, you don't realize you're going through it. That's your normal. If I deal with parents who, I'm sorry, I'm hearing the echo. It's throwing me off.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
hearing the echo too.
I don't know.
Y'all
Maybe
hear me?
turn your volume down just a tad bit on your phone, Shamica. Maybe that might be it.
Okay.
I was hearing it too.
Y'all hear it still? Okay, I don't hear it anymore.
Okay.
But if it maybe, can y'all mute y'all's phones while I talk? Maybe that'll help. Okay, can we hear it now? I still hear it echo. Well, nevertheless, I don't hear it anymore. But whenever you're going through trauma, you don't realize it's trauma because it's your normal. So if you go through things and endure things, and that's what your family has always went through, they just think it's normal. And we don't know that we need the help. So it's kind of hard to seek something you don't feel you need.
Absolutely. That was one of the things that we talked about, how if you've been through this cycle of trauma from generation to generation, that's all you saw come before you. You saw your mom and your dad fighting and arguing all the time. You saw your grandmother and your grandfather fighting and arguing all the time. You think that's what you're supposed to do in relationships, and so and that's why I salute the people who decide that they want to go and change their star, so to speak, say I'm not going to fall into the same road. Because my dad drunk a lot. My brother, my granddaddy, they were drinkers, and I decided I'm not going to be that dude. I'm gonna break that cycle right here. So I'm not much on drinking at all, especially beer and all that stuff. I refuse to drink stuff like that, and I'm not a smoker. So those were one of the things, and I felt like that was part of their issues, and why maybe they reacted in the way that they reacted a lot, because they were drinking and inebriated half the time. So and I didn't want to take myself down that path, and I didn't not only that, I didn't want to show my children that side, if that makes sense.
I'll take it a step further. If you're a kid, you have to keep internalizing.
Yep.
So a kid could know, like, this doesn't feel right, but if I'm born into a family where all I can do is internalize, then it's all I can do. And we also have to look at the root of it. Like, segregation didn't, what year did segregation end?
Yeah, shit. I
So
don't know.
so thinking about maybe the 60s or 70s, when segregation either ended or got closer to ending, we have years of internalized trauma where, back in the day, you couldn't speak up for yourself. Your kids couldn't speak up for themselves because that meant that their life was on the line. So we may be passing down things generationally that were for our survival and protection that we never really broke away from. And then we blame ourselves instead of saying, this is something we had to do to survive. And because newer generations are being born, they don't realize the generations before us telling your kids to be quiet was a way. Like, my whole family, if I spoke up,
Mhm.
that could have meant my wife would be killed, I would be killed, my son would be killed. So generationally, certain things are passed on without having conversations as to why. And
Right.
that's why generational dialogue is important. And that's why I created Through My Eyes, the heartbreak of generational disconnection, because those stories are how we understand each other. Somewhere along the line, younger people and older people said, you know what? The young people won't listen. The young people said, we don't need the older people. They don't know what we're going through, and we're not having that dialogue. So when I created the series, I was like, how do we empower each other by listening? You empower each other by listening and storytelling. So,
Mhm.
shameless plug, we got Through My Eyes. We partnered with the Silver Fox Experience fashion show. This is 50 plus, 50 and up models, and they're going to give their perspective about aging, debunking the myths, and legacy. And that'll be on March the 22nd from 3 to 5 at Withers. You can register for that on Eventbrite, because we got to bring the conversations back. It's more than just therapy, it's conversation. We need
Mhm.
to really just understand it. A lot of us, we blame our parents. My mom, I love my mom. I know my mom made mistakes, my daddy made mistakes, but at the end of the day, I'm like, you know what? They're my parents. They were young. They were in their 20s. 20 is really young when they had me.
Right.
Instead of me just being angry, let me try to understand them. So besides therapy, we need to try to understand each other collectively as well, I
I'm a
feel.
firm believer of having those conversations. I like sitting with elderly people and just hearing their stories. I was riding to church with my auntie, my oldest auntie, and man, she was just giving me all the old tea, and it was amazing that she could remember the stuff when she was a young girl, and I was like, hell, I can't have remember when I was 9 or 10, and I'm 50, I'll be 57 this year, and I'm like, I can't have remember that stuff. And this woman in her 80s remembering stuff when she was 5 and 6 years old. And we also have an elderly lady at church who is 90, I think she's 97 or 98 now. When I tell you, mind sharp as the day. This lady can remember all of her childhood, how her mama used to dress her up and make all of her dresses for school, and how all of the teachers used to come around to see what she was dressed. They would look for her every day to see what she had on and what she was dressed like. This lady could remember all of this stuff. And I was like, I don't understand why the young people, because I love it. I don't understand why the young people won't try to understand. And that's why they know nothing about history as well, because they ain't gonna go read no book about it. And they don't want to find out from the elderly people. I don't want to sit over with them old people all day long. But I've gotten a wealth of information, even just about your heritage and where you come from and who are your people. We don't know that either. And so I think all of that can come through conversations or dialogue, like you're saying. And so I definitely appreciate all the work that you're doing, especially around that and trying to pull that and close the gap in between younger people and the elderly by having those conversations. Monica said, I like that. I think she was talking about when you was doing your intro. She said, I like that just because you're not here right now does not mean you can't get there. Absolutely. Good morning, Mayor. Good morning, Joseph. Good morning, Miss Loretta. Good morning, Miss Paulette. I have to, and Miss Gwen. Good morning. I have to make sure I shout out my people that's jumped on here that listens to us, and supports us daily. So when you, because you again, you do a vast array of things, and the working with the elderly, the Silver Fox. So when I first saw the Silver Fox, I immediately thought about the group of gentlemen, the Silver Fox gentlemen. And I was like, she working with the Silver. Let me go see what she. And I was, oh, those are ladies. So
Oh,
is it just
so
ladies, or was it
it's
ladies and
men
men?
and women. It's
Okay,
men and women. So this amazing lady, her name is Deborah Robinson. She has a modeling background,
okay.
and she saw a need for people 50 and up to have a platform. But and it debunks the myths of aging. It defies the myths. You can be vibrant at 50 plus. You are energetic at 50 plus. You have purpose at 50 plus. And a lot of people think, when you get older, that means life is over. No, it means you're wiser. You've gained knowledge. You still have life in you. So I admire her platform. So it's a fashion show of 50 up models, but it's called the Silver Fox Experience. But like you said, the Silver Foxes did originate with men.
So and as a life coach, because that's part of your do you often get a chance to or how often do you get a chance to maybe to chat with our youth and kind of talk to them and find out like what they have going on, what's on in their head. I think a lot of times when we talk about that gap, there's a separation of young people believing that or thinking that um, my parents don't identify with me, or those older people don't identify with me, and so they won't share. We kind of raised our children to share, to talk, to tell us what's going on. We have those open conversations. I actually created a family meeting where anybody could call a family meeting, and you could talk about whatever you want to talk about. But we've had family members where they ask for the allowance to be raised. Can they date boys? Can they have cell phones? I mean, we've had all kinds of meetings, and some of them I regretted allowing them to. But then it's at the same time, I appreciate them, being able to come and talk to us and be able to share with us. So we always kind of knew, for the most part, what was going on with them. I often tell Lavelle, or we've said on this podcast, that you can be there every day. It's at the house, cooking, providing for your child, and still not be present in their life. Because being there don't mean that you're present. And so, have you had an opportunity to kind of like really sit down with some of our young people and just kind of talk to them about life and about way things are what's going on with them?
Absolutely. And I think a lot of times when we become adults, we forget we were kids. We
Mm-hmm.
were kids with thoughts, we were kids with individuality, and we forget the experiences that shaped us into who we would become. So when we silence our youth, then we take away their voice and we don't know who they are. And then they start resenting us for taking away their voice. As adults, children, there are also youth that are leaders and there are youth
Mm-hmm.
that are followers. And when
Mm-hmm.
you grow up, there are adults that are leaders, there are adults that are followers. So I think no kid is a monolith, so we can't say that all kids are one way.
Mm-hmm.
They just have to be empowered, and empowerment means pouring into. When you pour into youth and you build a rapport, because my background with youth I started out as a behavioral youth counselor at youth villages.
Mm.
So the cool thing about that, which that was a hard job, I quit that job
I
after.
thought that was a cool thing.
No, I quit that job after 4 months because it was very challenging because you're
Yeah.
dealing with youth with just different trauma. But so
Mhm.
in that role, we depended on our rapport with the kids in order for them to snitch on each. I know it sounds weird, but we needed to know what was going on. So
Right.
depending on the relationship that the kids had with you, they would open up to you about what was going on. So
Absolutely.
to answer your question, it depends. Like my struggles depend on the type of youth that you're dealing with and what you can bring out of them. So there are youth that are like, we had a panel discussion a week or so ago called Through My Eyes, the Right to Legacy, because I feel that youth deserve the right to legacy. So
Mhm.
we got a chance to speak with some of the youth leaders across the city. My panels are non-conventional, meaning I don't ask bourgeoisie questions. So my questioning would be like, how do you kill your ego in the midst of leadership when everybody's telling you how amazing you are? Because in the midst of your amazing capabilities, there's also a mission that needs to happen. And
Mhm.
sometimes when our ego is fed too much, it distracts us from the mission because we're feeling ourselves too much. So I ask questions like that. By the end of that panel, those kids created a bond with each other and they better understood the older generation, because one of the youth mentioned, like, adults say kids should be seen and not heard, or stay in a child's place. And I said, you have to understand the root
Mhm.
of kids should be seen and not heard, because if you were heard, that could mean your life was on the line.
Mhm.
Back in the day,
Mhm.
we know about Emmett Till, but we don't understand like how much the people before us fought so that we could even have the right to have a voice without being murdered.
Absolutely.
So once we had that dialogue, they understood. And also I do volunteer work, which we got some workshops coming up. This is a company called We Care Inc. Shout out to Michelle. I'm
Mhm.
one of the mentors at We Care. So I do workshops on going to college. I was one of those kids. My father was incarcerated pretty much all of my life. And so I didn't, when I went to college, it was like, this is different, but I do a workshop on just, the intro to college and what college looks like. And those kids are, from Manassas and different schools that people count out. All they need to do is be empowered. So once they go through those workshops and see different things and they are exposed to different things, you see a totally different kid. So kids need exposure, but kids also need to be empowered. And
Yeah.
you'll see a different type of child when you empower them versus putting an iPad in front of them and just moving on, or a
What
cell phone.
one of the things too that I feel like, you know, where there was a great disconnect is like with it, because I come up in the church. Lavelle and I come up in the church, and I know you I don't know if you come up in the church, but we came up in the church, and we came up in an era where um they were doing everything that we were doing back in the day, probably plus some stuff. But there was no testimony, there was no sharing, there was no pouring into. And so when we got caught up in doing things, it was like it was the biggest sin in the world. And then when I got older and I started really listening to some of the older people really go back and tell their stories, and I was like, why didn't y'all share these stories with us when we were young? I said, because these stories could have helped us get through some of the times that we were going through back in the day. I said, but y'all held this stuff, set on this stuff because y'all didn't want to make yourselves look less than saintish.
Right.
You- and so y'all allowed us to go through, and that I think that's where a big, huge disconnect too. And one of the things Lavelle and I did back in the early 90s was we started we did SOS Youth Ministry, which is save our Souls Youth Ministry. Was someone saved youth ministry, and it was a bounce off of a boys ministry that I had because I saw our young men, and I had an affinity for just making sure that our young men, had an opportunity to grow up and become men. And so we took those boys, I don't know, it was probably, I don't know, 14 or 15 boys from the community, and we just poured into them. We poured into them. We took them, we showed them things, it took them places that they never been, talked to them, had conversations, real conversations. And When I look back on that now, at that time, it was tough for me because, again, I had experienced some stuff as a youth that I didn't really understand, and I didn't really have the support that I thought I needed. And so I didn't want them to not have the support or not be able to talk to their parents or share with their parents. And so we poured into them to the point where, when I look back at it now, I said, man, that was kind of tough. I went into my pocket a lot and spent a lot of money out of my pocket that I took from our household, just trying to pour. My wife could tell you, I don't know how many sets of furniture we bought, because they would come over the house and wrestle like WWF style before WWE and literally tear up the furniture. And she'd be like, look, we can't keep buying furniture, But I look back now, all of those young men are older, have families where they have gotten married or they have children. All of them, but one passed early on. He was in a car accident, passed, and one did some time in jail, but now he's on the straight and narrow. So I think the work that we did back then helped a lot, because all of them are doing really, really well now. And then again, the spinoff from that was our Someone Save Youth Ministries, where we just poured into all youth. It wasn't just, boys. And because at that point we felt like Lavelle was like, man, we need to help the young ladies too. And so we created that ministry, and every Friday we would have a youth service at the church and invite all the kids, and we would have a good old time. And I would invite all of the young preachers, the Terry Mackeys, the Darrell Pettis, the Frank Harris Jr.'s, the Donald Walker Jr.'s, all of them, Willie Jameson Jr., all them little jokers came through there preaching on soapboxes, and now all of them are pastoring churches somewhere. So, you have to put in the work. So I salute you for the work that you're doing and pouring back into our community, into our children, into our elderly, just pouring back into the community, period. You're doing a fantastic job, a fantastic work. And it has to be saluted. And I wish we had more people like you that point into, because it's easy to complain about what we ain't got, what we ain't doing, but go out there and do something about it. I tell people all the time, you can sit online all day long and throw all your frustrations out, but what are you doing to try to combat some of this stuff that's going on?
And also, can I interject? Also, support the people that are doing. If you're not going to do anything about it, y'all see two men in one hat. Y'all see them out here doing the work. Show up for them.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, somebody.
Be at their events. Like, if you can't be the change you want to see, instead of y'all complaining, show up for the people that are doing the work. My personal trainer, like, she used to be my personal trainer. Shout out to Tawana Johnson. She said one is too. That's my girl. She said one is too small of a number to achieve greatness. And what we do, and this is my pet peeve, we will spectate. We'll say, oh, they ain't doing enough, but they're only capable of doing so much. There's only so much they can do. They're only two people. If you say, you know what, I like what they're doing in the community, let me donate some money. Y'all go out to eat all the time, spend money on wings. Y'all know how much wing and fries and the juice costs? About $30. Y'all spent that $30. Y'all could have donated that money to two men in one hat when they had the Easter egg hunt to help these babies have the candy and things. Y'all throw away money all the time, but then when people want to make a difference, they asking for money. No, they're trying to make an impact. $30 or however much money is nothing to people. Like, you got it. Like, a lot of us throw money away all the time. So that I promise you'll get it back. If your hand is open and you're giving, you'll get it back.
Yep.
You will get it back, I promise you. But make sure, even if you don't have a cause that you want to create yourself, get behind, figure out what people are doing. It's so many nonprofits in the community. It's so many people wanting to make an impact in the community. Do your research.
Yep.
Because there are people making change, but they can't do it by themselves.
Right. I want to shout out, man, since we talked about it, shout out to Miss Gwen, man. When I tell you, Miss Gwen always she's gonna text me or inbox me something. She's always trying to find out, hey, this person would be good to be on your show. She's always suggesting things that we could do to improve, our podcast or our community work. Have we thought about maybe coming together? Because suggested this the other day, Lavelle. She said, "Why don't we get together as a committee and we just stuff the eggs, get the eggs and stuff them?" I was like, "Yeah, get it together." So let's do it. We were stuffing party last year. My wife said I didn't stuff none, but that was not true. I don't want to say she was lying, but that wasn't totally true because I did. I had 12 golden eggs that I stuffed that I put money in. So I did stuff some eggs. They probably stuff more than me, but I stuffed some. So Monk said, "I'm agreed. I'm often tickled by seasoned church folk who forget where that they were once children." Ms. Green said, "Great point. You need exposure and empowerment." Absolutely.
So Shamika, you made the point that you said that your father was incarcerated. How did it impact your life and have the impact on what you're currently doing now?
Man, I miss him. Like he died at 40. So my daddy ended up dying when he was 42 years old. But I still got cards from him when he was in prison
Wow.
and I would just, I missed him. But I didn't really understand because like I said, that was my reality.
Mm-hmm.
People don't and now people look at me and they think, oh, you live a life of privilege. People will judge you based on who you've evolved into. Just because my daddy was in jail doesn't mean he didn't believe in me as a person.
Right.
So when he would see me, his name was Alfred Keith Howard. He from Olive Branch, Mississippi. So he'd be like, man, that girl, she's top of the line, top of the line. Man, when he would come around, he'd be like, man, that girl, top of the line. She's top of the line, top of the line. That's what he say when he saw
So
me,
he
top of
was
the
even
line.
empowering you way back then.
Top of the line, top of the line. Man, I
Yeah.
promise, like with my family, I'm gonna ask them to watch this. My Aunt Betty, because they're like birthday twins. So my dad's birthday just passed in February.
Mhm.
So he'd be like, his birthday was on February the 23rd. So he'd be like, man, top of the line. He'll see me when he got out of jail. He'd be like, top of the line, top of the line. So my family, like I'm the director over a program that helps disabled people get back into the workforce. So in my office, it said they gave me a plaque for graduating. It says you're top of the line in memory of my dad. So although he was in prison, I miss him for being gone away. But as I become older, I realize he was young, how young he was.
Mhm.
42 is extremely young. And once you're in the system, he had his circumstance. At his core, he was charismatic. He could have been a hothead, but he was charismatic. He loved his family and he had a love for people. So as I get older, I embodied those traits, and he was very bold. Like he
Mhm.
had this boldness. My daddy wasn't going. And so I'm more strategic with it, but I I honor him because he's a part of who I am, and a lot of times we get older and we want to use our parents' pain as a stepping stool to success. My daddy wasn't there. I get it. I get my daddy wasn't there, but I'm grateful for the things he did pass down to me, and I'm grateful
Mhm.
for the times he was there.
Right.
I won't spend my life angry at him and using him as I'm 40 and 50 and 60 years old, still blaming my daddy for what he did when I was 12.
That's awesome. That, that
So
is-
I honor him. Thank you, Daddy, for giving, if nothing else, thank you for giving birth to me and thank you
yep.
for speaking life into me. I'm
Yeah.
appreciative.
That's powerful.
Man, that's powerful. Because so many people do they take that, you know, and they look at it as more of a tragic situation and a painful situation than one where I've never, this is probably the first time I've ever heard someone who had someone in their life like a mother or father that was incarcerated that didn't blame them for something. Like
Now
you
my daddy
actually,
wasn't going. My let's
yeah.
be understood. My daddy wasn't going. Like
So
what I'm saying. Like he
again,
was
man,
not going. Like I honor him and like
yeah,
they tell me stories about him. And I'm like, I can't believe he did that. They be like, your daddy, he was special. He was this.
because he
And
wasn't
so
that
when they
you
tell
didn't see that.
yeah, when they tell me the stories about, who he was, I honor him, but also it gives me relatability because I
Yeah,
can relate to the kid who has an incarcerated parent. I feel like God gives us things because he know that we have the capacity to endure them so
right.
that we can better understand somebody else and support them in their overcoming. And a lot of times, like I shared a post And somebody was like, your trauma, this, and that, and you going through the trauma. I said, no, this is my testimony. And like you
Mhm.
said previously, because people don't share their a lot of people don't share their testimonies because people will stick them into that space. They'll say,
Mhm.
you're like this because and then not they're analyzing you, but everybody has a testimony. And like if you believe in God, then you know that everybody has a cross to bear. The only thing
Mhm.
about me, I'm bold enough to talk about it and I've overcome it and I lift as I climb. So as I'm reaching the top, I'm taking somebody else from Memphis that's going
Shout
through it. I'm saying,
music.
you know what? You going through it, but we're gonna get through this because I've been there. And relatability is how we help people overcome. If you ain't from the Haven or you ain't from Memphis, you may say, man, you don't understand. You're
Yeah.
from Texas, you from Houston. You don't understand how hard it is for a
Right.
Memphian. My daddy was in jail. I was over. I say I understand it, but you can overcome because I did.
Yeah. That's
So
You
all.
that's
said
why God gives us
you
testimonies. He
lift as
doesn't
we
give us
climb.
testimonies. Now, y'all gonna let me preach today. He doesn't give us testimonies for we can sit on them. He gives us the testimony so that we can empower somebody else to get through it. See,
Yeah.
that's when people are discouraged when you trying to hide what you're going through. You trying to look bourgeoisie. Oh my God, I graduated. I got 2 degrees too, but that don't take away the fact my daddy was in prison. I got my master's degree too. My grandma was on
We
welfare.
got we
My
got
grandma was on disability. Come on now.
Mm.
That don't take away the fact that we
Talk.
went through it and we overcame. We are resilient people. We
Mm.
are resilient. Our ancestors just didn't pass down pain; they passed down strength. We forget
Mhm.
about the strength they gave us. We have
Come
the
on, man.
strength to overcome. We shall not overcome. We have overcome,
Mm.
but they don't talk about the overcoming. They act like it never happened. You know who created GPS? A black person.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? The traffic, like we've invented so many amazing things, but we always just talk about the trauma.
Right.
I'm done. I'm sorry, y'all.
No,
I get
no, that
passionate
that that
because
was that's
y'all
that.
can't just talk
Mm.
about you trying to mask.
Yeah.
People get to a certain level and now you bougie and now you're at the best dinners, but
mm-mm.
we don't talk about what happened when you were getting there. And so there's a gap between elitism that we don't talk about in the
Mhm.
Memphis community. There's a gap between elitism and poor. So you get elite and now you forget about the people that, oh
Mhm.
well, I made it.
Right. Right.
Come on now. You
Yeah.
can't get there and then forget about like when I got the position I have now, I actually started up their company in Memphis. People started asking me where I was from. And when I said I was from, are you from Memphis? How you do that? So they count out even people move here and
Yeah.
thrive, and they
Yeah.
count out the people that are from here. That's why
Mhm.
when people say Memphis so bad, look at the people moving here and making 6 figures. People
Mhm.
are coming to our community that belongs to us and building a name for themselves.
Mhm. Off
I'm
off
familiar with what you know about me. Oh,
Yeah, they're building a name off of
Yep.
our community. Look at the people that make all the money, and look at half of them are not from here. I'm gonna preach it. I'm sorry,
you
y'all. I I,
Uh,
I will talk.
you okay?
you
You
I'm just
preach every
saying,
morning.
like it's a lot of
you on
resources, a lot of
post.
y'all saying ain't no money here. It's a lot of money in
Yeah,
Memphis,
it's a lot of
but
money
y'all
in
let
Memphis.
people come into our community. Not letting, but people are coming to our community and they're making a name for themselves and they're taking advantage of the things we don't take advantage of because we frown
So,
upon where we're so ashamed to be from Memphis.
so
Memphis
let me
has to
ask you.
learn its own value.
Okay, great
I'm
question. I mean,
sorry.
great response.
Y'all,
How?
why y'all let me go on a rant?
No. We love this. This look,
No.
we organic over here. We love that. So
Yes.
when you talk about Memphis and you talk about the money and stuff that's here to people. So why? Because I've always kind of had an issue with people who complain about ain't no jobs, ain't no this, ain't no that, and then when you ask them about improving themselves, getting the education, when I don't want to go to school, I got to go to school. Well,
I'm
how
gonna I'm
you?
gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. Because I work in the oh man, y'all got the right one today. Sadly, I have to drop off in a few minutes because I do have to go to work in 15 minutes. But I work in the field of helping disabled people transition back into the workforce. If you make me feel like I'm a task, I'm gonna stop asking questions. So
Mm-hmm.
if I come in your office and you like, oh, what you need today, or you treat me like you're better than me, why would I even seek the help from you? So some people we talk about the bourgeoisie and elites.
Mm-hmm.
If you have an elite mentality and I'm poor and I'm trying to get help from you and you treat me like you just don't want to be bothered, then eventually I'm gonna stop asking.
Right.
You got to lead with empowerment. And it's a lot of people, I wouldn't even say a lot, it's some people in social services that don't care about the community and don't care about the people they're serving. So in order for us to make change, we have to be empathetic and we have to meet people where they are. I had a client, for instance, she kept canceling our meetings. I'm like, why this lady keep canceling our meetings? Our office is located downtown. This lady is located in Whitehaven. She was come to find out, she was taking the bus. So she didn't want it, she didn't know how to express, I'm taking the bus and I don't really have the means to get downtown. So she would keep rescheduling. We rescheduled. I met her at Whitehaven Library. Guess what? She came to the meeting. So it's not that people don't want it, it's so many barriers. We don't know what people are going. I have a car, thankfully, and I have employment, but think about somebody that's on fixed income who doesn't have a car, and now your office is located downtown and they're in another area and they can't get to you, or they don't have the money because they only get paid once a month. And like I say, in college, for instance, I was waiting up. Y'all know about refund. Y'all know about refund checks in college. So I went to TSU, and one semester I didn't have any money. I called home. My mom was like, my mama didn't really have it, and I didn't have the money. I'm waiting for my refund to hit. I had to get a job, and so I was listening to Tupac. He has a song called Changes. Tupac said, "Even worse, I'm black. My stomach hurts, so I'm looking for a person snack." Until I went to hungry, I never understood those lyrics. But in that moment where I had no food, nobody to lean on, I was like, man, this makes sense. But until you've been through it, you don't understand it. And so I think we need more people in social services that have seen both lenses so that we can better support people in getting where they need to go versus elitism. I'm just going for my awards. I ain't trying to step on no toes, but if you know that's you, you're just going for the awards, but your heart is not in human services. We have to learn how to put the human in human services. And that's the biggest issue. Everything can't be a money grab.
Right. We and I appreciate that perspective as well. We about 2 years ago, we felt the need that, because we have a Link 211 program, which actually offers a lot of services and resources to our community. And a lot of people don't know about it. And we be trying to get these services out here to help people. And so one of the things we realized was that you can have all the resources in the world, but if people can't get to the resources, those resources are useless to those people. And so we wanted to get these social service workers, and we end up hiring a couple of them, and we put them out there in the different libraries in the communities to meet people where they are and meet the need of the people and try to connect people with the resources. And so it's important, man, that you understand that, there are resources, but everybody may not have, and that's why it's important that you ask questions too, and you try to get to, why, like you did. You knew this lady wasn't, damn, why is she constantly, canceling our appointments? You had to meet her where she was, because she needed the resource, but she couldn't get to the resource. So you had to bring the resource to her, and so sometimes we don't want to do that. And when you start talking about elitism and all that stuff, you have people who put themselves on this high platform, this high plateau. And I'm a firm believer in that. If you ain't never got to tell God, if I get too high, bring me down, because he'll bring you back down. But some of those people have that mentality because they've gotten these positions, and I've seen it through every walk of my life. I've been in management over 35 years now, and I've seen it in every walk of management that I've been in, where you have these senior leaders or owners or CEOs that I've seen some that's very down to earth and willing to help and sow, and then I've seen some that feels like you're dirt beneath their feet, nothing but dust. So I've seen it all, and when you talk, if you're not willing to share, empower, to help people, I tell my managers all the time, and when we have meetings and we get all these managers together, I tell them, look, you got to have some empathy sometimes for some people. I say we ask a lot of these employees. We ask them to do this, do that, go over and beyond. But every time they need us to be empathetic or sympathetic in a way to them, I can't do that. I can't let you. I can't. Come on now. If it was you, would you want it? So I try to lead with Um, you know, I try to lead from a servant leadership type of position, and we have to have servant leaders. And if you don't understand that, then you probably shouldn't be in leadership. Period. That's it. Miss Gwen said, I don't never want to not read these comments. Miss Gwen says, by the hands and feet that support the vision of those that support our communities of all ages. She said, definitely not I'm sorry moment. Don't let others make you live in the trauma instead of our testimony. All that people with true empathy and discernment. Absolutely. Yeah. So
Yeah.
look, man, I know the time is kind of far spent. And we got to get out here too in a minute. But I did want to allow you to, if you could share anything, um from an encouraging standpoint, because you've been very encouraging. I mean, because you've even helped me, you know. But if you could share, because I don't never want to bring people on that have a story such as yours, and have um just such an awesome aura that I wouldn't allow you the opportunity to be able to speak life into people or encourage people. So if you can encourage our listeners today by saying anything, what would you say to them today?
I would say no man is an island. That's one of my favorite quotes. That means we can't do it alone. And a lot of society has us thinking, oh, I like being by myself. I'm a loner. No man is an island. Did you guys know that isolation is one of the leading causes of death? You need
Mm,
community. If you don't have community, get you a community. Get you some people that speak life into you and pour into you and want to see you become a better person. If you're around people that don't want to see you do better and you're trying to do better, try to get away from those people. Try to distance yourself, and as you distance yourself, you will see your life change. And that was me. I was that kid. I was, growing up, got teased and this and that. But as I got older, I got around mentors. I got around people that spoke life into me. I got around people that helped me. You need accountability. You need
mhm,
people that will hold you to a higher
mhm.
standard of yourself. You
Yep.
don't need nobody that's going, man, that's messed up. You don't need anybody that's going to feed into what you're going through. Okay, you're going through it, but I got you. What we gonna do next?
Right.
You
Right.
need those type of people in your circle. And you, like I said, you need community, and you got it. Connect, support people with a vision like this platform right here. Look on Eventbrite, look online, Google, try to figure out what's going on in the city of Memphis. It's more than
Mhm,
crime and lack. Is Don't adopt the spirit of lack.
mhm.
Don't
Yep.
speak lack over your life.
Yep.
God did not put you here to be poor, pay bills, and die. Celebrate your
Hello,
family,
somebody.
forgive your family, hug on your family, love on your
Yes.
family. Forgive your cousin that made you mad 2 years ago because you
Or the
like
one
his
that made you
dress.
mad 20 years ago and you don't even know why.
Yeah, you don't forget why, but you holding a grudge. Quit
Yeah.
holding grudges because we're so forgiving of people outside of our family. And also, don't take, like, if let's say you sell ties and your cousin won't buy a tie. Don't personalize if somebody doesn't maybe buy into the vision that you have sometimes. Maybe they don't like ties. Maybe their time is just watching your podcast.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't personalize everybody who's not consistently doing things because God will bring you the right people.
Right. So let me say this. Miss Gwen said definitely come back and share some more.
I will.
Alta said, "Ooh, we." Phyllis said, "Awesome. I pray God continue to bless you and show favor in your life." And Monica said, "Accountability with the heart." So thank you, Miss Shamica Baxter, for coming on today. And let me say this: you are openly welcome to come back anytime. You got to log in if you want to jump in and say, "Hey,"
Oh, thank
and jump
you.
in on a topic that we have. You are, and then don't be surprised now when we have these mental health topics and stuff like that that we call upon you
Yeah,
to
put me
have
back in
special
because I
guests.
didn't even reach into my life coaching. But
Yeah,
if you
exactly.
guys want to follow me, look me up. I'm Shamika Mix Baxter on Facebook, Pink Gem Society on all platforms. We got the Through My Eyes, the Silver Fox experience with 50 plus 50 and up models that are going to be talking about their experience on growth, wisdom, and legacy. On March the 22nd from 3 to 5, you can register via Eventbrite. We got a lot of stuff going on. We got romance panels because I feel like love has become so surface level. And I heard you talk about marriage. So we have married couples, and the next one we're having is love, lust, sacrifice, the art of letting go for those in relationships that are no longer serving them. We want you to go ahead and get through that relationship so you can get to the love that's meant for you. We got a licensed therapist and a pastor at the end. In the beginning, we got two divorcees talking about their experience with love and having to let go. So you don't want to miss these amazing events. I look forward to seeing you there. And I look forward to being back on this platform. This was very fun and it was very community based, and I learned a lot about your platform. So thank you for having me.
Thank you again for being on. And again, you are openly welcome. Anytime you want to jump on here, just jump on here and say what you got to say and jump on. I gotta go, y'all, but I'm jumping on. Or you can call in. You got the number. You can call in 901-438-3520. If you want to call in, you can call in and maybe share if you're at work in your office and just happen to listen. Say, oh, let me jump on and throw my 2 cents in there.
2 pennies.
Yeah, the 2 pennies in there.
Thank you guys for having
me. Thank you so much. And we will talk to you later. Yeah, man, that was good.
Yeah, boy.
That was good. She do good. She do good, Lavelle. She do good.
Oh, she said you have to lift as you climb.
Man.
Yeah, she got me on that one.
Climbing and lifting.
Yes, sir, Doc. Don't let
that
go.
Was good, man. Lavelle, you got something you want to play, man, for our folk, man.
Yeah, we doing this before
y'all didn't hear it.
Man. Yeah, man.
Yeah, if y'all didn't hear it, y'all check this out.
Good morning. Good morning. You already know what time it is. Tony, Lavelle, 2 minute has purchased. Pull up to the table, grab a seat, let's begin. Real conversations when the hats come in. Life lessons, relationships too. Different perspectives, but the talk stay true. Let's talk about it. Yeah, let's talk about it. Life, love, truth, and wisdom. Yeah, we talking about it. Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. Don't miss it on Facebook and YouTube. Pull up and come kick it. Tony got perspective. The Bell bring it truth. And when Queen Watkins pull up, she spilling that tea for you. Queen Watkins segment. Like that TAT. You know when Queen step in the room, the conversation getting real soon. Real soon. Yeah. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Talk about it. 2 minute has podcast. Yeah, we talk about it.
Yeah. Don't play.
We told y'all we was gonna spice it up and update that joint. Yeah. So we got our new joint that we gonna be playing now when we go in our intro, outro, man. So it was good, man. She do good. She do good today. I love to see people in their element, man.
Mm-hmm.
When I tell you I love to see people in their element. And then she's a young lady that's doing her thing, that's being vocal in the community and doing her part. And you know, we get a lot of haters in Memphis, a lot of haters even that live in Memphis. And until you know you support the people that are trying to make the change, a lot of us won't even hold our elected officials. You know, won't even hold them, hold their feet to the fire, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it's difficult, man, to just sit here and listen to people complain and talk about stuff all the time, but then you ain't willing to go out here and do nothing to help the cause. You know what I mean? So, thank y'all, man, for tuning in today. We appreciate it. We didn't have no tea today, and so we ain't got no tea to clock, but she done already clocked it. And I want to recognize and send our condolences and prayers to the family of Bridget McCray Casey, man, a long-time friend. I've been knowing Bridget in the McCray and Casey family forever. And so her late husband, Cap, you know, I know him times too. He was married to my sister at one time. So and Cap was a very instrumental early on in my athletic life in high school when I played football. So Shout out to Bridget, man, in the Case and McCray family, man. Our condolences and prayers go to you guys in this very difficult time. KJ, we praying for you, baby. Cass, KJ, all y'all, we praying for y'all, man.
Yeah. I also pray for the Wright family. I think I think he went to Fairleigh because Greg just made a post. Theodore Wright. Like I said, I had an opportunity to meet him through when I was DJing at B Leaf.
Mm-hmm.
So he had a very strong fight with cancer. I don't know what type of cancer he had, but he fought a good little while and passed on either this morning or last night, one of them. So yeah.
Absolutely. Monica, Zoe said you made them update their intro. Yeah, man. She had a little fat intro. We had like, man, we gotta update ours. Not that ours was just, slaw or nothing, but we had the intro, yeah. And shout out Lavelle did that with AI, y'all.
Oh yeah.
He did that with AI. So shout out, man.
Yeah, so I've been messing around with
it. She's an awesome guest in the episode today. I'm gonna reach out. She actually sent me some information for Jay Henderson. I remember Jay from way back when I was managing my R&B group, and so they Mario DJ, DK and DJ Image, and when they won the K97, Jay Henderson was hosting. Jay and another guy, they was hosting it, and they was trying to find new artists, local artists, and they put on this little showcase, and my guys won. They won the K97, the first showcase. They got a trophy. I think that trophy's still down there in my room down there. Big old tall. I think it is. I don't know. I might let one of them take it with them. I find it probably let one of them take it with them. But it's a big old tall trophy, probably about 3 feet tall, that I won, K97 showcase. And that's how I first met Jay Henderson. And Miss Gwen sent me her information yesterday. And so real soon we're gonna have Jay Henderson on our show as a special guest. She said, y'all better keep up. we trying to look, we didn't already went through all the trial and error, man, so you don't have to go through it.
Right.
So we helped you out. We helped you out.
And I really, man, especially with guests like the young lady Shamica just was on, I love the StreamYard and being in our, individual places and stuff like that. But our vision is at some point we're gonna have an office with podcast equipment already set up. People gonna be able to pull up, whether we have to pre-record or whatever. Ain't nothing like that in-person synergy energy that really keeps it going. So
but
still our vision.
You gotta crawl before you can walk. That that's definitely still the vision for sure. Yeah. But you gotta crawl before you can walk. And I wish y'all could see this. Monica's beautiful setup over here. A beautiful setup. Matter of fact, y'all give me 1 second. Hold on, give me 1 second.
Okay. Shameless plug while he gone. I'm gonna do this again. Y'all ain't mad, is you?
Good morning.
Let's go.
Good morning. You already know what time it is. Tony, Lavelle, 2 minute has purchased. Pull up to the table, grab a seat, let's begin. Real conversations when the hats come in. Life lessons, relationships too. Different perspectives, but the talk stay true. Let's talk about it. Yeah, let's talk about it. Life, love, truth, and wisdom. Yeah, we talking about it. Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. Don't miss it on Facebook and YouTube. Pull up and come kick it. Tony got perspective. The veil bring it truth. And when Queen Watkins pull up, she's spilling that tea for you. Queen Watkins segment. Like that TAT. You know when Queen step in the room, the conversation getting real soon. Real soon. Yeah. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Talk about it. 2 minute has podcast. Yeah, we talking about it.
Yeah. Right on time, Doc. Right on time.
Right on time. Right on time. Let me see if it do it. She said, I can't wait. Light snacks, music, great vibe. What did I just do?
I don't know. All right, we're gonna see what we come up with you.
What's that?
Now she want me to come up one for her now. She don't put me to work.
Oh,
Uh-oh. You trying to switch your camera out. It ain't doing it though.
yeah, I got. Say, I guess the problem with this is I have two cameras,
Mhm.
and they both titles. So I need to rename one of them to something else
Mhm.
because they got the exact same name, and I think it is giving me some kind of conflict with it. So I think I'm gonna rename it if it let me
Okay.
rename it. Yeah.
Come on, man. Get you a verse in that thing, Doc. Yeah, Tony over there doing his magic, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. It won't.
You won't do right. All I know is when I shared the new intro with Tony, I was like, he listened to it.
Yeah.
I said, like, man, I said, when you want to switch it up? It's ASAP.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Immediately. Yeah. Because that was different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was real different. At least it's giving me back. Putting me back. We had to get Monica's on there another time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm gonna show it to y'all, man. Her setup is really, really nice. Really, really nice setup. Love the updated intro. I was freestyling my verse. Zo, you got a verse for that thing?
We can mess around, put a line dance in this.
I got a mind. She said, "Do me, Bell. I'm gonna call you." She said, "Don't do me, or do me." What? I don't like how that came out. Do me,
I know
Bell.
what you meant.
Wait a damn minute. What the hell is going on?
So we ain't finna start that foolish this morning. Don't do too much.
About the hell ass to call in and explain. Y'all, we got to get out of here, man. Come on, prayers out, Brett.
Okay, man. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. Thank Miss Shamica Baxter again for coming on, and looking forward to having her on again soon. Let us pray. Most gracious Son of God, our Father, Lord God, we thank you for this day. Thank you for this time. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for being able to just wake us this morning and clothing us in our right mind. Lord God, we ask you to continue to touch Miss Shamica Baxter as she can continue to walk in her purpose and do the things that you have given to her hands. Continue to touch Tony family, my family, and everybody associated with me family. And meet us back here Monday same time. And we ask you to do these things in your daughter's son Jesus' name. He said, Amen.
Amen. We'll see you guys tomorrow, same bad time. I mean Monday, same bad time.
Monday, same bad place.
2 Men in Hats. Let's talk about it.
Good morning. Good morning. You already know what time it is. Tony, Lavelle, 2 minute has purchased. Pull up to the table, grab a seat, let's begin. Real conversations when the hats come in. Life lessons, relationships too. Different perspectives, but the talk stay true. Let's talk about it. Yeah, let's talk about it. Life, love, truth, and wisdom. Yeah, we talking about it. Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. Don't miss it on Facebook and YouTube. Pull up and come kick it. Tony got perspective. The veil bring it truth. And when Queen Watkins pull up, she's spilling that tea for you. Queen Watkins segment. Like that TAT. You know when Queen step in the room, the conversation getting real, real soon. Real soon. Yeah. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.